follow these instructions. They're willing and enthusiastic to go deeper and deeper into this science, farther and farther along with the process. That would not be happening if the process was bogus. Like if you went to chemistry class and they told you to mix two chemicals together, you know, and you get this a certain result, and you do the experiment and you get something different, you're going to be like, wait a minute, you know, you try it again, you know, and it still doesn't work. And you're like, oh, this is nonsense. And you drop the class. So we're not forcing anybody to take our classes. They're taking voluntarily. And they keep taking, and they keep advancing more and more. So what does that tell you? It's actually working. They're doing the experiment, and they're getting the result. So they're going, okay, this works. This is real. It's accurate. And you'll find that the more you go into this and the farther you advance in this science, that the more you will be able to get the specific result given for each of these processes. Because the more expert you become and the more purified you become, the more you'll be able to work on the platform of consciousness and get these results. So it's not a myth, it's not a religion, it's not a belief, it's not mythology. It's scientific and it's real, and you can do it and you can get the results too. So that's why we're teaching this esoteric teaching all over the world, on the internet, on our website, and soon we'll be in India and like that. And we're going to be approaching the universities and offering them a program based on this esoteric teaching, which is going to help them basically to survive. Because the Western materialistic economic system is failing, and the main product or the main goal of these universities is to train workers for that system. So if the system fails, they're out of business. They don't have a game anymore. They don't have a product. So we're going to go and we're going to offer them a new product, a whole new game that they can play, that they're actually very well positioned for, which is to teach people how to revive their original Vedic culture, because in India the original culture is Vedic. Teach people how to revive their original culture and form spontaneous, self-organizing communities based on that culture. This is what is needed. The corporate culture has basically destroyed our communities by monetizing and commercializing different commodities and different kinds of exchanges that were formerly done in the context of a family environment or a community environment. You know, like I have a field of corn, and one day I break my glasses. So I go over to Charlie on the other side of town, and I offer him, you know, a bin full of corn, and he's the optometrist. He knows how to grind glasses and stuff like that. So he makes me a new pair of glasses, and he gets his larder full of corn, and everybody's happy. No money exchanged, nothing taxable. There's no record. You know, it's all just a personal exchange between members of the community. But what happens now? I grow some corn, and then I have to sell my corn to some big agro corporation, right? And they cheat me because they won't give me the amount that the corn is really worth. They'll only give me, you know, 50% of that so that they can make a profit, right? And then the guy on the other side of town who grinds glasses, he wants some corn. So he buys it from the same company that just bought it from me, and guess what? They charge him twice as much. You see? So he gets ripped off, I get ripped off. The company makes a profit, but they're ripping everybody off. You see? So that's what we got now. We've got a system where the people who own the companies make the profits, and everybody else is getting ripped off. Now, how could this end well? How can this have a good result? This is not possible. There's so much bad karma stacked up. These rascals have been doing this now for hundreds of years. So it's time for it to end. It's time for it to be over. Everything has its time, and the time of this corporate nonsense material society is finished. Now everything is leading us toward a new kind of civilization which is based on spiritual values. It has to be. Otherwise the same thing is going to happen all over again. And believe me, after what we're going to go through, when this thing collapses, the suffering is going to be so intense that people are going to be convinced that we don't ever want to go back there again. So it will be a very good opportunity for us to spread the esoteric teaching and show people a new way of life that does not require exploitation. If you read our community blueprint, our bridge community project description, you'll find there's a whole economic system in there that does not require exploitation, that does not require profits, that does not require fictitious entities called corporations, and that specifically takes a village economy and builds up the value within that economy according to the people's work. And this is based on Gandhi, Schumacher, Marx, and Srila Prabhupada. They all had input into this theory. It's a very sophisticated theory. And so when we say we want to make a spiritual community, it's not that we just want to like buy a piece of land and a bunch of devotees move onto the land and somehow or other, you know, raise some crops or something like that. It's much, much more highly developed philosophy, including a whole economic science, whole economic principles. And when you take our Bhakti Shastri course, you learn all these principles and you learn how to actually implement them in a community. And you actually have your own business project that you establish and put these principles into action that will get you independent from the corporate system. You see? So right now, we don't have anybody in the Bhakti Shastri course yet. Everybody's still on the Bhakta course. So please finish up your Bhakta course and get to Bhakti Shastri so that you can learn all these things. We want everybody to be economically strong and independent. That way you won't have to get ripped off by the whole corporate society. You can become a hub of a new form of economic exchange. Well, actually it's not new, it's the oldest thing. Where I give you the results of my work, and then you give me the result of your work. And somehow or other, it's called a gift economy. By this gift economy, everybody is able to live very nicely. It's based on love instead of cooperation. It's based on the fact that we know everything is coming from God, and it's to be used in His service. And if we're all engaged in this process of serving God and offering the results of our work to Him, then why should I hold back the results of my work from other people? See? I can give them too. Because they're giving me. Everybody's giving everybody else. There's no need for money. There's no need for profit. The need is for cooperation. The need is for love. The need is for exchange of affection. That's the normal society. And that's what we want to reintroduce in this world. So, are there any questions? Pass the mic, please.
There's a question from Varun. Babaji, how can we, with our limited intelligence, realize the true nature of consciousness?
Look at it. That's it? Okay. Well, it helps to read the scriptures too, you know. But basically, you have to sit down and look at it. We don't want you to simply learn some words about consciousness. We want you to actually sit down and look at consciousness. And if you do that, you'll be amazed. I mean, what else is there to say? You know, you have to see, you have to do it. Another question?
Question from Prasad. Humble pranams. When a person under general anesthesia loses his consciousness temporarily, does it also suspend his spiritual awareness during this anesthetic phase?
No. The only awareness that's stopped is awareness of the body and the senses. People who do research in